What is going on, everybody? It is your boy French here. Welcome back to episode 2 of Talk the Field. We're going to be running things a little bit different in this video. As you can see, I'm on Madden 20 on my PS4, and we're going to be doing a simulated Super Bowl matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers. Now, when the computer plays itself, I'm not going to be playing this game. As you can see, I got my controller right here in the middle, and you can actually spectate the game like it's a normal things, so that should be pretty interesting to see. We're going to set things on 8-minute quarters. Why don't I go ahead and do that? We're going to turn off the accelerated clock, and if I feel like the video is a little bit too long and the game kind of goes on forever, you know what, I'm actually going to set this down to 6 minutes. I feel like that's going to be a little bit better, because 8 minutes with all the time and no skipping, that could take quite a bit. Now, the only issue that I might have with the sim is that the Chiefs are only an 83 overall, mainly because of their defense, but the 49ers are an 88 overall, because they are a much more well-balanced team. But nonetheless, let's get this thing started. Let's go ahead and go to the Dolphin Stadium. That's where the Super Bowl is. In case you didn't know, pretty sure most of you probably knew that. Let's go ahead and get going. So, what I have done is I have picked out 4 X Factor stars from offense for each of the two teams, and 3 X Factor stars from the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to be going over their season stats, some of their postseason stats, pros and cons, all that kind of stuff. The guys that really make a difference out there on the field. So once this game gets going, we're also going to be talking about the Madden sim a little bit as well. Mainly when people are driving well, you know how it would normally be. So it looks like the Chiefs won the toss, and they are going to, so generally in Madden, it auto sets so they defer. So it looks like the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54 are going to take a knee here, and they're going to get going. I'm going to go ahead and skip, and I'm setting the controller down. Patrick Mahomes coming out. And as he's out here, we're going to go ahead and talk about Patrick Mahomes. So in 2019, his stats from this past year, he missed 2 games. Kind of in like the middle of the year, Matt Moore came in for a little bit. But Mahomes completed 319 of 484 passes for 4,031 yards, 26 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. Very efficient. Obviously missing the 2 games. Wow, Nick Bosa. That's probably pretty realistic of how things are going to go for Nick Bosa in the Super Bowl. Even though he's young, he's a rookie. I think he's going to beast against the Chiefs' offensive line. So for the postseason for Patrick Mahomes, he's completed 46 of 70 passes for 615 yards, 8 touchdowns, and no interceptions. That's 2 games in the playoffs. He is absolutely on a tear right now. 2nd down and 11 coming up here in the game. Let's see where he goes with this. Across the middle. Oh, Tyreek Hill wide open. Oh, little juke, and they're going to get him with a face mask there. That's going to add 15 yards to play. They're driving right now, the Chiefs are. Oh, my goodness. First drive of the Super Bowl? Come on, bro. All right, so for some pros for Patrick Mahomes, come on. It's Patrick Mahomes, last year's MVP. Probably a couple more of them in the future. But for the con side of things, I wouldn't say it's really a con, but he isn't really like a Lamar Jackson on the ground. But he can scramble, definitely. And he can throw on the run better than pretty much anyone in the league. I mean, some of the throws that he makes across his body, off of his back foot, are insane. And that's Patrick Mahomes, baby. Alright, so next we're going to go to Damian Williams at the running back position. He is their starter. He's going to get blown up right there. I believe that was, Quan Alexander. So his best season was this year, Damian Williams. Just played 11 games. But he did have 111 rushes. That's quite a lot for a running back. 498 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. Postseason, he's had 29 carries for 92 and 3 touchdowns. So pretty efficient here in the postseason, especially against pretty decent defensive lines for both Travis Kelce right there. But for both the Titans and the Texans, both of them have pretty good defensive lines. So Damian Williams definitely has been pretty good here in the playoffs. Pros for Damian Williams. He's definitely solid out of the backfield for the Chiefs. He's kind of what they need in a passing scheme. I mean, he's solid out of the backfield. He's definitely a really good guy for Patrick Mahomes to go to if some pressure's coming and he's in the flat, just dump it off. Not quite a Kareem Hunt like he played last year for Mahomes, but Damian Williams is definitely a decent substitute for that. 3rd down and 4. This is a big play. Mahomes got Kelce, and they're in the red zone already here in Super Bowl 54. This is insane. All right, so for the cons for Damian Williams, obviously Kareem Hunt was a little bit better. Damian Williams, he's just not like a top 10 running back to me. I mean, I can name plenty of guys like Barkley, Zeke, Kamara. Wow, I'm really about to contradict myself. Le'Veon Bell. Oh my goodness. Why can't I think about any other running backs? Raheem Mostert, I would honestly say, is better than Damian Williams. There's just a lot of guys that have played better than Damian Williams this year, so it's not really a con, because I mean it's just a fact that he's just not a top 10. But plus he has a tough matchup coming up, as you can see here. He's getting lit up by this defensive line. That's Nick Bosa again, disrupting the rush out of the backfield. The Chiefs have not been able to get the run game going here in this Madden sim. Moving on to the next player. How are we going to do an X Factor list and not talk about Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill is literally nicknamed the Cheetah. I mean, come on now. He's one of the fastest players in the league, if not the fastest player in the league. He's been playing pretty good this year. He missed 4 games due to injury. 58 catches, 860 yards, and 7 TDs for Tyreek Hill. The postseason here, 8 receptions, 108, and 2 touchdowns. Got a big 3rd down and 1. They're gonna, play action. That got me. End zone touchdown. Sammy Watkins, and they're gonna get a hold on the offense. Wow. Eric Fisher's gonna make it come back. That's interesting. All right, so for Tyreek Hill, has been very very good here in the playoffs. He's got great hands. He's definitely a top 10 wide receiver when healthy. But the only downside, size potentially an issue, but I see Tyreek Hill go up 1v1 situations and jump up and catch the ball. I mean, Tyreek Hill, he's just a difference maker out there, man. There's not many people that can guard him. Did they just get the first? Oh, they're going to be inches short, and it looks like the Chiefs, are they going to go for it? Are they going to take their points? This is interesting. And you just got to stretch the ball over. Mahomes has been going to Kelce a lot in this game. I could definitely see that as a Super Bowl type of thing. And they're going to take the points. Let's see if they make it here. Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is right down the middle. 3-0 Chiefs off the first drive of the game. And while we're at it, why don't we go at Travis Kelce real quick before the San Francisco offense comes out. So Kelce didn't miss a game. 97 catches, 1,229 yards, 5 touchdowns. The postseason, he's been a beast. 13 for 164 and 3 touchdowns. He's the best tight end in football. Come on. Wherever he lines up, he's a mismatch. He's the best red zone threat since Rob Gronkowski, and I'm a firm believer of that. Travis Kelce is definitely the best tight end in the league. He was injured versus the Titans, just 4 targets, but he will play in Super Bowl 54. I believe it was, I think he rolled his ankle or something like that. I should have done more research on it before recording this, but it wasn't a serious injury. He's definitely be okay with 2 weeks of rest for the Super Bowl. Sometimes his attitude is an issue. I think we all know this, but he's been a lot better this season. I don't think he got ejected from 1 game this year. He's starting to get a little bit more calm in his older age, but physically, no weaknesses for Kelce. Now, San Francisco and their offense is out on the field. We got to talk about Jimmy G and what he's done this year. Hasn't missed a game. Last year he missed a bunch because of his injury. 329 for 476. Mahomes missed 2 games, and he threw more passes than Jimmy Garoppolo. I see that as a problem. All right, even if it's a scheme issue, but quarterbacks in today's day and age, you got to be throwing at least 500 a season if you don't miss a game. And Kittle on the first play. This is an offensive battle, 31 yards downfield. But 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions for Garoppolo. Pretty decent TD to INT ratio. In the postseason, in 2 games, 17 for 27. That's right, you heard me. 27 attempts for Jimmy Garoppolo in the postseason so far. Just 2 games, 27 passes. That is not good. Just 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's go into some pros, though. Let's stop getting on Jimmy Garoppolo here. He's a winner when he's healthy. We all know this. I mean, first full healthy season for him. Here's Mostert. I feel like he might go off here in the Super Bowl, but I'll get into that later. He can definitely sling it when he needs to, though. Even in the scheme, like the run, the ground and pound kind of scheme. I mean, as we can see, only 27 passes attempted in the postseason so far for Jimmy Garoppolo, but he throws the ball with efficiency. He really does, even though he's not throwing it every single time. You know, he's not a Patrick Mahomes in that aspect. Oh, Kittle dropped it. That would have put him in the red zone, but yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo can definitely sling the ball, throws it on the money when he needs to, when he gets a chance to throw it downfield. Interesting little matchup right there. Love to see it. All right, so let's go into some cons to Jimmy Garoppolo. Biggest problem I see, not much of a scrambler in a changing NFL game. I mean, it seems today you need to have some ability to scramble. And I just don't see, even in a run game scheme, I don't see Garoppolo taking off. And he's going to, is that Deebo Samuel? Deebo Samuel, we're going to get into him a little bit later. But not much of a scrambler for Garoppolo. He obviously doesn't throw enough. In the NFC Championship, he threw 8 passes. Completed 6 of them. 2 of them were to Raheem Mostert. And I get it, Mostert went off. I mean, he had 4 touchdowns, ran it like 30 times or some crazy stuff, but I just don't think Garoppolo throws the ball enough. I mean, obviously they came up with the dub, so I can't really talk too much down on him. But you got to throw the ball more than 8 times. Come on, Jimmy G. Wow, what a catch from Kittle. They're at the 1. They might score a touchdown here. San Fran. And one of the bigger problems I see with Garoppolo is that he tries to fit tight passes in a tight coverage on occasion. That's where the 13 interceptions come from. He's a lot like a Dan Marino or an Eli Manning. Likes to try and sling it into holes where he probably shouldn't, but high risk, high reward kind of quarterback right there. But that's enough on Jimmy Garoppolo. They're driving here. I got to pick up the pace. Let's go into Raheem Mostert. Best season by far. 16 games. Not all of them were starts for Mostert. In the regular season, though, 137 carries, 772, and 8 touchdowns. We might see him get a touchdown here in Super Bowl 54 from the 1-yard line. No, they're going to pass it on the goal line. Garoppolo got Kittle in the end zone. Oh, my God. Wow. The 49ers are going up easy. That is crazy. Wow. So for Mostert, in the postseason, 41 carries, 278, 4 touchdowns, most of those in the NFC Championship game. That was 29 carries, 220, 4 touchdowns. He's a great fit for the 49ers. He performed well, even with Breda and Coleman on the team. I mean, a 3 running back scheme. Proved all the haters wrong. Mostert was not a high prospected guy. He was cut by 6 NFL teams. He's been in the league for 4 years. Only been in the league for 4 years, and he was cut by 6 NFL teams. But here in the Super Bowl, can't let the pressure get to his head, and he cannot let up. He needs to go out there and grind like he did in the NFC Championship for him to be successful. Let's go on to Deebo Samuel, the starting wide receiver. I mean, I guess you could consider Emmanuel Sanders a starter, but I like to think that Deebo Samuel, I believe he was a rookie, Yeah, he was a rookie. In the regular season, missed one game. I believe it was week 1, actually. 57 receptions, 802 yards, 3 touchdowns in the postseason. 5 for 88, 0 touchdowns. I mean, they haven't been throwing the ball much here in the postseason, let's be honest. He had a solid rookie year. He plays well in the... I'm going to keep talking about the run-style offense for the 49ers. He plays super well in that sort of scheme, and he gets it done when they need him to. They're going to take that out. That was kind of deep. Flag. Are they going to get another face mask call? Wow, that's crazy. Deebo Samuel, though, might not be able to carry the workload, but at the same time, the Chiefs don't have the best secondary. It's not bad. It's probably the best part about their defense, even though their defense overall is just terrible. But I don't think that he is going to be able to carry the workload. I think it's going to be Kittle, because the linebackers for the Chiefs is just atrocious. Atrocious. Alright, let's talk about George Kittle. We were just talking about him. Missed 2 games. 85 catches, 1,053, 5 touchdowns. In the postseason, just 4 receptions, 35, no touchdowns. Mahomes finds Dude, it's a tight end battle out here. Mahomes hasn't missed a pass in this game. That's crazy. Let's talk about pros with George Kittle, though. Second best tight end in football. He is the second best tight end in football, right behind Travis Kelce. When involved in a run-based San Fran offense, he plays well. I'm going to keep talking about it. I know I said I was going to stop talking about it, but I'm going to keep talking about it because it's relevant. You know, the run game scheme for guys like Kittle and Deebo Samuel to be doing what they're doing, and even Jimmy Garoppolo to be throwing the ball as well as he has, when they're just running the ball pretty much every single time. It's pretty amazing. And Kittle, he's just a beast, man. He's arguably better than Kelce. I personally don't think so, but they're neck and neck in my opinion. Let's talk about some cons. Sometimes doesn't get targeted. Again, that run-based scheme. If he's the second best tight end in the football, you just gotta give him the ball. He's also a fast tight end, like one of the faster. I think Ingram from the Giants is the fastest, and Kittle might be top 3, I believe, for fastest tight ends in the NFL. You got to use that. On those little dump-offs, those drags and stuff, there's a first down, Damian Williams. Mahomes still hasn't made an incomplete pass. He's going off here in the Super Bowl. But Kittle, with his speed, he's able to become a mismatch in a lot of schemes. A big problem I see with him, though, is that there's really no backup behind him for the tight end position. 49ers really aren't deep at tight end. They really don't have someone that could, take his place. Not many people can take that place. They're in the red zone already, but Kittle needs to play a little careful here in the Super Bowl. That's really the only con that I can see with George Kittle, is that he does have to nurse himself because he is that big of a deal, and if he gets hurt, they have really nobody. All right, let's talk about the 49ers defense. We've gone over the offense for both teams. We've talked about 8 players. We talked about Mahomes. We talked about Garoppolo. We talked about Raheem Mostert. We talked about Damian Williams. We talked about Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Those are 4 from each team that I think are the best at their positions on their teams. And dumping off to Kelce. Sorry, I keep flip-flopping between the Madden game and what I have down here on paper. Alright, so let's talk about the 49ers defense. When we go to the defensive line position, we talk about rookie Nick Bosa. This man, 47 tackles. He didn't miss a game. He had 2 fumble recoveries, 9 sacks, and he also had an interception in his rookie year. In the postseason, 10 tackles, 0 fumble recoveries, but he had 3 sacks in the playoffs. Nick Bosa, man, most likely will win the Rookie of the Year. There's been a lot of solid rookies this year, but no one is compared to Nick Bosa. He's better than his brother Joey. And Joey's a beast. Nick Bosa is a franchise player for this 49ers team, and I think we've seen enough of a sample size from him to see that. And he's only going to get better as he gets older. You know, it's the Bosa's and the Watts ruling the defensive lines in the NFL. Nick Bosa has great speed off the edge. Not too much of a power rusher, but he gets there quick, man. Mahomes is going to have to watch out because Bosa's going to be in his grill all game. Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, is not going to get the first down. And Kansas City is going to have to take another field goal, another stop. Another big red zone stop for the 49ers here in this Madden sim. And the only con I see with Nick Bosa is hopefully the Super Bowl pressure in his rookie year doesn't get to him. Sometimes it does. And that's where the veterans really shine, is in the big games like the Super Bowl, because they've been there. But for Nick Bosa, you know, his rookie year, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays. I think he's still going to be fine. He might sack Mahomes 2-3 times. He's definitely going to be a presence in the backfield all game long. He's going to make Mahomes run for his life. 7-6 ball game. Let's go ahead and talk about Fred Warner. Fred Warner is the best linebacker on the 49ers front seven. Great 2019 season. I believe it was second year. 118 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, and an interception. In the postseason, just 13 tackles, nothing else. He's one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. With Shazier out and Kuechly retired, he's an up-and-comer who is definitely, I would say, top 10, top 5 middle linebackers in the league. Plays well. He has speed. He's all over the field at once. He's a ball hawk. Plays a lot like Bobby Wagner, but he has speed. Plays well in the run stuff. Plays well in the coverage. Hang on just one second. But yeah, Fred Warner has definitely been huge for this 49ers defense, leading that defense with Richard Sherman and company. Cons, lack of experience. Obviously, just his second year, his job is going to be to guard Kelsey if they're in man coverage, and that is not going to be easy. Obviously, like I said before, I think Kelsey is the best in the league. Not many people can guard him, but Fred Warner, he might have a shot here. Let's talk about Richard Sherman. Actually, Mostert, little juke right there. That was a weird cut. I thought he had the outside, but he's going to get to the 40. 49ers. Both of these teams are just driving down the field. I mean, they're not punting the ball this game. But yeah, let's talk about Richard Sherman. Missed one game here in his second season with the Niners. Yeah, it was his second. 61 tackles, 3 picks, 11 deflections, and 1 pick 6 here in the postseason. He had 4 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 pass deflections, no pick 6s, but on the pro side for Richard Sherman, one of the best corners in the NFL, and he has been ever since the Legion of Boom. He has phenomenal play rec, one of the best in the league at any defensive position, if I'm being honest. That's been his strong suit, and the reason for his success is that he's able to recognize not coverages, but how receivers are lining up, and he's able to predict what kind of routes they're running. And he talks the talk and walks the walk. We saw his press conference. Wow, Mostert just got stood up. But we saw his press conference a little while ago. And he was saying that he was the best. And he said, like, come on, see for yourself. Like, no who's throwing on me? And he really does walk the walk in that regard. On the con side of things, he does lack speed. Everyone knows that. Richard Sherman is not one of the faster corners in the NFL. Definitely plays better in like a zone with a safety behind him. And the other thing is too, wow, what a first right there. Emmanuel Sanders. Who the hell is going to guard Tyreek Hill though? With Richard Sherman being the best corner on that team, all they got to do is send Tyreek Hill on these streak routes. Sherman ain't going to be able to keep up. Little stop and go, and that's a touchdown for the Chiefs. Richard Sherman, as good as he is, no one can catch up to Tyreek Hill, especially not Richard Sherman. And there's going to be a lot more separation on that. Be prepared to see a couple of deep balls to Tyreek Hill here in the Super Bowl. Now, I'm almost done. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense, there really isn't much to talk. I'm just kidding. On the defensive line, let's talk about Chris Jones. Missed 3 games. He's one of the best young defensive talents in the NFL on the defensive line. As you can see, he has a big X under his player in Madden. That is called an X Factor, and they get extra abilities because of it. But that's due to his great play. In 2019, missing 3 games, 36 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, 9 sacks. In the postseason, did have some injuries throughout, so just 2 tackles, no sacks, none of that. He will be back for the Super Bowl 100%. Chris Jones can line up anywhere on the defensive line. Wow. Deebo Samuel. Man, they are driving. Chris Jones, he can line up anywhere on that line. He can play inside. He can go edge rush. Really does not matter. He has the speed. He has the power. He's definitely hard to block. Always pressures the quarterback. Always. When he's healthy. And he has been this year for the most part. But as his cons, he has been nursing injury all of the postseason. But like I said, he should be back for the Super Bowl with that rest. He definitely should be back. And he is going to be a force. And Kansas City's going to need him to show up. They really need him to be in 100% full force for the Super Bowl matchup. Wow, there's only 1:23 left in the first half. 7-6 ball game. But then again, it's also 6-minute quarters. And it really hasn't been a defensive battle. They've been just driving on each other. Let's actually see this play out. Garoppolo to Mostert. Was that Mostert? Yeah, it was Mostert. The 13, they're driving. Kansas City's not calling on timeout. 3rd down and 4. All right, let's talk about Terrell Suggs at the linebacker position. I picked him mainly because he's a veteran, and I don't know who in the linebacker corps for the Chiefs I would talk about other than Terrell Suggs. In 2019, he played 15 games. 2 of them were with Two of them were with Kansas City. He was picked up before the playoffs, just before the playoffs. He had 40 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 6.5 sacks. Even as an old man, he's still playing really well. Terrell Suggs. He's going to provide a solid veteran presence for this Kansas City defense, and that's a catch out of bounds at the 11. They should be able to get a field goal out of this to make it a 10-6 ball game. But Terrell Suggs definitely has a lot of experience. He already has 1 championship ring. Yeah, 1 championship ring with the Baltimore Ravens. He is definitely going to be a factor in this game. Not just him, but players around him. You know, they're definitely going to feed off that, and he's definitely talking with them about the experience and what to do to prepare. His mindset is going to be right and helping the young guys prepare for it as well. He could be a difference maker. He very well could be a difference maker just because of that. You know, when guys aren't ready, and some guys are, some guys, they go off. For cons, older in age, close to retirement, might honestly retire after this year or the year after. And he definitely lacks speed that he used to have. He's never been a super quick run or linebacker, but he's definitely had a little bit of speed, and obviously as players get older, they start to slow down a little bit. 1 more position, and then we are done with the X Factor players. Let's talk about the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Actually, let's see this kick. That was very short. Oh, man, I thought he was going to return that. Hey, 49 seconds at the 31. Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Watkins. Definitely got a shot here. So for Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, in 2019, his first year with the Chiefs, 75 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 picks, 12 deflections. In the postseason, 12 tackles, no sacks, no picks, 3 deflections. He's one of the best safeties in football. I compare him to Earl Thomas in like a Troy Polamalu. Actually, he reminds me more of Troy Polamalu. You know, he's kind of off the screen, and then he comes in to make these ridiculous tackles, but they also play well in coverage. Not many people can compare to Troy Polamalu, in my opinion. I'm not saying Tyrann Mathieu is as good as Troy Polamalu. Don't get mad at me. But he's definitely that sort of archetype in that regard. Definitely leaves that Chiefs defense, though. Even though Chris Jones is good, I think Tyrann Mathieu, he's sort of a veteran. He's a young veteran, but he definitely leads that Chiefs defense. Definitely helps them out a lot. He's had a little bit of... wow. He was going to house that. He just dropped that, but I don't know why I put this in here, but Mathieu, trouble with the law in the pass. He's a little bit of a hothead. That's just one of the cons that I see with him, but I don't think that should be an issue for the Super Bowl. If he does something before the Super Bowl and is unable to play, that really sucks for the Chiefs. They would definitely miss him. They're going with a screen on 3rd down and 5. They need to air it downfield. San Fran's going to get the ball back. Wow, that's interesting. All right. So the X Factor players are done, and we're just about through the first half of this game. 36 seconds left here in this one. It's pretty interesting. 10-6, low scoring. I don't feel it's going to be like that. I feel like it's going to be a lot more high scoring. The fact that the Chiefs haven't scored a touchdown concerns me a little bit. I know the 49ers defense is good, but the amount of weapons that Kansas City has, I don't know. So 28 seconds left here. Oh. All right, so let's go into my expectations for the game while we're waiting for this to go through. Super Bowl 54 is going to be a great matchup, and to me, there really isn't a true winner, and that's how it should be for the Super Bowl, you know? I feel like the clear winner for the past few Super Bowls has been the Pats, you know? Like, they've just been so dominant that, you know, like, you can't not pick them, and I was kind of getting sick and tired of that. I really don't like the Pats. I respect them because they're a dynasty and everything, but this is the first time in a while where there hasn't been a clear winner for the Super Bowl. They just let that time run out. That's interesting. I didn't notice that at first. Let's go ahead and sim that. But both teams have a good shot at winning. Have the tools, good players, good coaching. It's a good matchup for all the players on both sides of the ball. And many more of the sort. I lose my train of thought here. Let's start with the Chiefs, though. They are looking pretty unstoppable with the ball in their hands. Here in the postseason, going off, Patrick Mahomes is playing with some insane efficiency, looking super unstoppable. Mahomes back in full force. Dustin Colquitt, the punter, might as well become the water boy, if I'm being honest. He's hardly punting the ball. I mean, Mahomes is just driving the ball, it seems, every single time. Dustin Colquitt has barely punted the ball, and I think in the Super Bowl he might have 1 or 2 punts, but he's not going to punt that much, despite the Niners having a really good defense, in my opinion. Travis Kelce is the league's new Gronk. Basically unguardable. Tyreek Hill, he's the real-life Flash. Not many quarters can stay next to him. If you haven't seen the breakaway touchdown, actually, Damien Williams had this year, Tyreek Hill started off the screen, caught up to Williams, eventually crossing the plane past him. Like, he was off the screen, Williams was on a breakaway, it was like a 60, 70-yard touchdown or something. Tyreek Hill came off the screen, followed him, put his hand on his back, and then crossed the end zone before Williams did, just to like taunt him a little bit, like it was just a race. That just goes to show how fast Tyreek Hill is. When a running back is on a breakaway like that, Tyreek Hill caught up to him and passed him, and he was jogging next. It looked like he was literally jogging next to Williams, and Williams was running, like straight running hard. And they're gonna get a first down here on 2nd down. But Tyreek Hill, his speed is just unbelievable. I think that he's truly going to be the X factor that the Chiefs need in this ball game. I think that he is going to be huge in Super Bowl 54. Richard Sherman is honestly the best option to guard Tyreek Hill, but honestly, he's going to need an inhaler after manning Hill up. I mean, man, Kittle is going off in this game. 11 for 13 for Garoppolo. He's throwing a lot more than I thought he would here in the sim, but Madden, it's a fantasy land. Just wanted some video for you guys. But there really isn't too much on the Chiefs defense to talk about. It's getting better every week with Steve Spagnuolo. Remember, I talked about that in the past video, and the Giants and all that stuff on Steve Spagnuolo. He's definitely been a huge upgrade in coaching for the Chiefs and Andy Reid's staff. I mean, their defense, it's like a flip switch. Their defense has been a lot better since he became the defensive coordinator. But at the same time, the Chiefs' defense is still pretty bad. 49ers' offense has been pretty good this year. So it's definitely going to be tough for them in the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the 49ers a little bit. Things are going to be a little bit tougher. Raheem Mostert, with a record-breaking NFC Championship, ranking in 29 carries for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. It was truly incredible. But will he be able to keep it up for the big game on February 2nd? Garoppolo has been good, I think. I mean, there really isn't too much of a sample size this season, or this postseason. He only threw the ball 8 times in the NFC Championship. 8 freaking times. Like, I've never heard of such a thing from a starting quarterback. Like, 8 times in an NFC Championship. That had to be an all-time low. Since maybe, like, the Barry Sanders era, even though I don't think he made the postseason, but that's besides the point. Granted, though, Mostert carried the workload literally with 29 rushes. The highlight of the 49ers is definitely the defense, though. Easily, without a doubt, without question. With Bosa, Sherman, and Warner carrying the torch for this 13-3 team. Their defense has been top 3 easily in the league this year. Real question is, though, can they be the ones to finally stop Patrick Mahomes? I guess we'll find out at Super Bowl 54. Alright, things are getting a little interesting. We have about 20 minutes left on the video. And I have a little bit of a conclusion and some predictions here. And I didn't even realize that the 49ers went ahead and punted the ball. I was paying more attention to my script here. But let's talk about it. In my opinion, here's my conclusion. The Super Bowl 54 champions are going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I know, their defense is terrible. The Niners have a great defense with a decent offense. Just hear me out, okay? Damian Williams, he's not going to go anywhere. Might get 50 yards. Like, look at that. The video literally just proved my point. 6 rushes, 0 yards in this Madden sim. That just goes to show Williams isn't going anywhere. San Fran's run defense has been their strong suit. That being said, though, it will make it hard to pass when they can't get the run game going. Kansas City's passing game is definitely something special. With Mahomes at quarterback, Hill, Watkins, Mecole Hardman on the outside, Travis Kelce at the end of the line. The receiving core is arguably the greatest of all time, talent-wise. And Mahomes slinging the ball, I guarantee 30 points, at least on any defense. On any defense, I guarantee 30 points from the Kansas City Chiefs in this game, especially since Kansas City is on a huge tear. I mean, look at what Mahomes did in the playoffs just so far. 46 for 76, 15, 8 touchdowns, no picks. And the efficiency in that, Mahomes is probably going to pick up this first down here on 3rd down and 10. Why did he dump that off? Okay, never mind. Alright. Game isn't going to be a shootout, though. Or isn't. It is going to be a shootout. Kansas City's defense is just not good. And this shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone. But if they can prevent Mostert from going Super Saiyan like he did in the NFC Championship, I don't know how well the 49ers are going to play. Garoppolo, to me, definitely is a winner. But those 8 passes in the NFC Championship, they definitely concern me a little bit. Give Kittle the ball. Just give George Kittle the ball. If he doesn't get at least 10 receptions there's got to be something wrong with the coaching staff. It's the big game. You got to give the ball to Kittle unless the run game is working. You got to get the ball to George Kittle. You have to. Second best tight end in the league behind Travis Kelce. But I think Kittle is going to get at least 10 catches and 1 touchdown in the Super Bowl. And the rest, I really couldn't tell you. I think Mostert might do okay. But honestly, there's a little bit of gray area. Not enough of a sample size. Personally, I think he might go over 100 yards again. But I'm taking the Chiefs to win Super Bowl 54. Final score, you ready for this? 38-31. Chiefs win by a touchdown. Mahomes is going to throw for 5 touchdowns and over 300 yards. No picks. No, you heard me right. No picks in the Super Bowl for Patrick Mahomes. Come on, he's the GOAT. He's got to be the GOAT. Kelsey's going to catch 2 of them. Both of them are going to be in the red zone. Hill's also going to have 2 touchdowns with over 100 yards receiving. Like I said, that deep ball for Tyreek Hill should be huge in this game. And Mostert's going nowhere. Wow. Kansas City defense in the sim has been really good, let me add. Let's see here. Where was I? Last touchdown is going to be caught by Sammy Watkins, though. Sammy Watkins, I haven't really talked about him much in this video because I just went over a few of the X Factor players, but Sammy Watkins, what a season. I mean, I've been waiting for him to play like this his whole, career with the Kansas City Chiefs. I felt like he was going to be great for the system. Wow, another big play for the Niners here. But I think that Watkins is a big presence on the field with Hill and Hardman and Kelsey. He's definitely that guy. Like, you can't double team him because you got Hill and you got Kelsey. Sammy Watkins can definitely beat single coverage in a lot of situations. So he's kind of like that secret weapon in a way. Not all the attention is drawn to him, but he's still going to beast. On the 49ers side of the ball, Garoppolo is going to throw for about 250 and 2 touchdowns. I think the 49ers are definitely going to pick up the pace here. The Chiefs' run defense is way better than their pass defense, in my opinion. I don't know if Mostert's going to be able to carry the load like he did, so I think the Niners are going to have to throw a little bit more. And I think Garoppolo's going to throw for 250 and 2 touchdowns. Kittle, he's going to catch both of them. Like I said, he should get at least 10 catches and 1 touchdown. I didn't contradict myself. I thought he did. But I personally think that he's going to get over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Those are my predictions. I think some of you might agree. Might be a little crazy for some of those predictions, but might not be. We'll have to see, but I am taking the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs are on a tear. The Niners all season, to me, just haven't seemed to look like... I mean, they've been playing insane, though. I just can't imagine them being a Super Bowl winning team. And, I don't know, just looking at their roster, their defense has been great. But, who do they have on the offense? I mean, Garoppolo, we don't have enough of a sample size. Mostert, oh my gosh. Touchdown. Madden is on something for that. There's no way that was not a touchdown. Kevin Bourne to the 1-yard line. It's looking like Kansas City is going to lose this game, though. Let's see it. Oh, his knee was down. Never mind. But yeah, with the 49ers, though, Mostert, being kind of like a surprise to everyone. 6 NFL teams in 4 years in the NFL, that's not a great resume. There's a reason why he was cut from those teams. Granted, he had one of the best performances that I've ever seen in a playoff game. But I just don't know if that's going to be consistent in the Super Bowl. It's a different stage. I don't know if he'll be ready for it. And he's going to get a touchdown here. Making me eat my words there. That is definitely for sure. I think Mostert is definitely going to get a touchdown at the very least in the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs, man, their offense just looks so damn good right now with Mahomes and Kelsey and Hill and Watkins, Damian Williams in the backfield, and Mecole Hardman on the outside as well. Their offensive line isn't bad. The Chiefs' offense looks really, really good. Their defense, though, if they can play old San Francisco, I think that's going to be the big thing. If their defense can play well enough to hold Mostert and hold San Francisco, if they can stop the run game, basically, I think that Kansas City is going to have an easy ring here at Super Bowl 54, because I think their offense might be a little bit too much for San Francisco to handle. But let's go ahead. Can we sim this game? I'm not sure if we can. Can I not? Can I really not sim this game? Alright, so I'm going to do a little outro here because I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. But this is going to conclude the second episode of Talk the Field. I had a blast making this video. I really did, talking with you guys about my predictions and all that stuff and watching the Madden sim. It was basically like watching football while I was talking a little bit about it. And I hope you guys feel the same way. I hope that it's a little bit more enjoyable than the first one, you know, having something to visualize while I'm talking. Madden thinks that my prediction is completely off, but again, it's Madden. 49ers are an 88 overall team. The Chiefs are an 83, so there definitely is a little bit of a disadvantage for the Chiefs in that regard. If you guys enjoyed, drop a follow, drop a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel that this is currently on. Be sure to go over to Anchor, Anchor.fm. If you are normally, well, I don't know how you'd see this, but I'm going to post a little mini clip on Anchor to get those viewers over here, because this took quite a while to record, and I definitely plan to do this on YouTube because of Madden and everything. So comments are definitely greatly appreciated, just like I said before. Open to any suggestions or tips for future videos. I welcome it, actually. Oh, Kelsey. 4 minutes left in this game. But, you know, if you have something to tell me that you think that I should know, even if it's destructive criticism, please let me know, because I want to make this the best that I can, best of my ability. I took a lot of suggestions that you guys gave me after the last episode. I think I nailed most of them. And they're going to mess up the screen. Kansas City's going to lose this game. There's not enough time left. But that is going to be enough out of me for episode 2 of Talk the Field. This has been your boy Frenchie. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Talk the Field. And peace.